Hello, everyone. I don't want you guys to think that I'm abandoning this channel because I'm definitely not. I've just been super busy. Life is full of transitions and a lot of things have been changing, and metaphorically speaking, it's for the best. I'm coming on here today to do a video on the rising signs. So I know the lighting's not the best here. I'm somewhere near the water and the sun's just blinding, but it's a beautiful day. I never ever have Fridays off, so I'm like super thankful to have this Friday off to just reflect, have some time for self-care. And I'm gonna get right into the video, and I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the rising sign. Whew, sun is blinding. Let's start off with Aries. So if your rising sign is in Aries, you're someone that always comes off. Now remember, the rising sign is how you come off to people. It's not necessarily how you are or who you are. It's just your personality, your mask, how you present yourself to others. So if your rising sign is in Aries, you come off like you're someone that's always taking action, or you might be someone who doesn't think through things that they're gonna be doing. You kind of just do it, and then consequences just come right at you. um you're someone that could be very feisty. You might come off to people a little bit feisty. Now if your rising's in Aries, you're also very sociable. I think one of the rising signs is very social, very like they love social media, putting themselves out there, is Aries. But Aries are also people that, if your rising's in Aries, you also come off as someone that's very not so focused on everyone else. Like, you're not the type of person that's going to be on social media scrolling, seeing what everyone else is up to. You're more concerned about keeping to yourself and what you're doing. A little bit self-absorbed, you might come off. But this is, that Aries trait of their focus is on them, not so much on others. So you may come off to people as someone that's a little bit self-absorbed. You don't check up on others. You're just kind of doing your own thing and posting about it, or you're kind of a little withdrawn, doing your own thing, focused on you only. Going with number 2, the Taurus rising. So I've actually never met someone with rising in Taurus. Let me just say though, if your rising is in Taurus, you come off as someone that's very relaxed, but also very reserved. Like, you might have gone through trauma, but see, like, with the rising in Scorpio, also very reserved, might have gone through trauma. A Scorpio rising might be like mysterious at first, and then they might like trauma dump what they've been through. And Scorpios have a tendency to do that. Once they open the door, there's a lot underneath that person. And if your rising's in Taurus, you're someone that just like, you never let people see that side of you. So there is that little like mysteriousness to you, but it's not like a water sign mystery. It's more like you keep a lot to yourself, or you might come off as a boring, closed off, when really it's like there's a lot to me, but some of you just will never see that side of me besides me. That's the Taurus energy. And when it's in your rising, that's just how you come off to people. And it's like, those that really do know you know all the other aspects of you. You might come off as someone that's just very focused on money, the material world, when that's probably not even the case. But you love to have nice things. You have an eye for cute things, just like the rising in Libra. They're also like that. They have an eye for cute things. They're always wearing, could be trendy, but just when you see something cute, you're like, I have to possess it. Moving along with number 3, which is your rising in Geminis. Oof, that's me. Oh my goodness. I totally forgot that my rising's in Gemini for a second, having to talk about it. Risings in Geminis. So risings in Geminis, I'm gonna be very straightforward without, patting myself on the back. if your rising's in Gemini, you're first of all super fucking talkative. Pardon my language, but you're very talkative. You're someone that is very social. You're good with talking to everyone. Everyone thinks you're their bestie, when in reality, you don't really care for anyone. You don't even want to associate with none of these people. You just have that persona where it's like, I'm not even close to any of you, but you all think you're close to me type of vibe. And it's not a bad thing. It's just that that Aries sign is like, let's get close, but let's not get too close. Like, let's chit chat, but let's go back to what we're doing and mind our business. That's that double trait. And that's that energy of, you're a bit hypocritical. You might tell people, let's go do this. And then by the end of the day, you're like, let's not do that. You might be like, I'm into this person. The next 5 minutes, you're like, I'm into that person. Very changeable energy. Very this and that. Very night and day. Very black and white put together makes the gray. You go with the flow. The flow goes with you, but in an airy way. So Gemini is an air sign, therefore you know, think of great ideas right off the bat. People could say that you're clever, people could say that you're funny, people could say, where'd you come up with this, you know? So this is good, because if you are someone that I think wants to present to the world, you know, something like Gemini risings love to physically express themselves. So they could put on a cute outfit, like real quick. They can, you know, last minute think of just a brilliant idea. Gemini risings come off as people that are very intelligent, which they are, but it's just that, you know, that is that witty part of you. You have that wit and that good perception of things, you know, because your thought process is out of this world. You know, you're different than the norm, and people know that, and that's why they like you. That's why you stand out. Moving along, rising in Cancer. Hello, 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 hello. There's something just so nurturing about you. If your rising is in Cancer, there's something also very calm about you, but just nurturing. That, like, let's go out to eat, let's, you know, bake cookies, and that you have that warmth. You have that comfort. You also could come off as emotional when you're actually not whatsoever, but excuse me, that's how people view you, as someone that's very, you know, sweet, and you're understanding, even when maybe you're not too understanding, but that's just how you come off. You know how to make people feel like, I understand you. There's compassion. But also, you could come off as someone that's very emotionally unstable. If you look at a Capricorn, which is the opposite of Cancer, they're known to be very stable. So Cancers, on the other hand, they're known for mood swings. And if your rising's in Cancer, people might see you as someone that's very flighty with their emotions. I don't want to be mean or anything, but Cancers are known to not have a good fashion sense. So if your rising's in Cancer, you may come off as someone that doesn't know how to dress well. And it's not a bad thing. It's just that you're very quirky. Kind of like an Aquarius, you know, like, what the fuck are you doing? Except Aquarians are more like bold about it. Cancers are just like, what's the word? Nonchalant. They have no idea. So moving along, you're rising in Leo. Risings in Leo. Hello, sunshines. I have a good best friend of mine. Her rising is in Leo, and let me just say, they're not cocky. Like, I don't think, you know, they could be a little bit self-centered like the Aries, you know, but it's not in a bad way. They like to shed their light on people. They don't like to absorb their own energy, kind of like an Aquarius would want to absorb their own energy and be detached. You know, Leos want to spread that shit. Like, they want to sprinkle it. You're all the donuts, and they're just sprinkling the sprinkles on the donuts. And rising in Leo is just like, they walk in, someone turned on the light. It was just dark for a moment. You know, they are the light of the room. They are the performers. They want people to hear them. They want to put on a show for people. And if your rising's in Leo, you're also very humble. I don't think that if your rising's in Leo, you're automatically like to me, you're like a baby. Like you're not that wise. You don't come off wise at all, but you're a baby. You're like in the middle of like the teen. You represent the teenagerhood. So teenagehood, right? So your vibe is very like adolescent, very like party life, very right in the middle. You're not a baby, but you're not all the way grown up, and it's like you're someone that people know how to, I could have a good time with a Leo rising, they make you feel young again. And then moving along, rising in Virgo, right? Or is it Libra? What comes first? The Virgo comes first. Rising in Virgos, Beyonce. So if your rising's in Virgo, you come off as organized, practical, tactical, all of the above, but you also come off crazy. One thing about Virgos is that they're actually crazy, but they think everyone else is crazy. So if your rising is in Virgo, you have a method to your madness, and nobody knows it but you. And people might think she has it all together, but really you're a mess, baby, and you know it, but you're trying to put that mess together on a daily basis. And that's that. That's that. You're very down to earth, though. You're also, just like the Gemini rising, you're good with your communication skills. You're very out there, except Gemini risings are more social, extroverted. You're more on the introverted side, where it's like, I'm only going to talk to you if I have a reason to talk to you. I'm only going to speak up if it's necessary to speak up. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make business happen. So next up, rising in Libras. Hello, charmers. You guys know how to make people like you, and it's like you might not even like those people, but you know how to make them like you, how to make them think fondly of you, how to make people admire you and love you. Like, you're good at that. You're really good at that. And that makes you a little bit fake, but it's all good because Libras want to be accepted. They need friendships, lovers, and they don't like conflict. So Libra risings, you love, like, socially, you love to be cool with everyone. Like, you don't want no drama for the llama, but you're also a little bit two-faced because you might not even, like I said, you might not even like these people, but you're like, you know what, I don't want the conflict, so I'm gonna just pretend to be cool. But you're good at that because let me tell you, that's gonna get you far business-wise. That's gonna get you far in life. Like, just anywhere you go, people are gonna like you. And when people like you, baby, there's room for opportunity. So if your rising's in Libra, you're kind of blessed. Let me just say that. Also, you guys have an eye for really cute things. You're a bit luxurious, like a Taurus sun. You're a little bougie. If you're a girl, you're buying that good makeup. You're not you have high standards, is what I'm saying. Like, in the 3D world. Spiritual world, you guys kind of need to connect more to your spiritual side. And then we have next up, I've actually met someone. I've met two people with a rising in Scorpio. So if your rising's in Scorpio, people either love you or they hate you. You're someone, one thing about you rising in Scorpios is y'all love to get super, 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 super tight with people, but then get super, super, super drifty. You love to drift away from people's lives after you get super close to them. When one little thing goes wrong, you guys need more communication. You guys need to learn how to, like, be cool with people after stuff happens, because stuff will happen. You need to learn to forgive and forget if it's something small. You guys take little things to a very drastic proximity, and you should not do that, because that's how you're gonna end up alone in life. And I'm just here to keep it 100 and real with you guys, because you are wonderful people, and those that love you, believe me, we love you. So you're out here ruining friendships and isolating yourself. I'm gonna just keep it 100. But there is something very sensual about you guys, and super, super mysterious. And you know what, you rising Scorpios, you guys are actually very, very smart and very, very spiritual. And don't keep it to yourselves. Like, you should show that light of you a little bit more, that mystical side of you, because it's beautiful, and a lot of people, they do not have that. So next up would be Scorpio Sag. So you know what, I actually have a lot of friends with a rising in Sagittarius. I'm gonna say I have two, maybe three. rising and Sagittarians are very straightforward. Like, if they're funny, they're gonna say something like quick, you know? Now, think of the opposite of Gemini. That's what Sagittarius represents. So everything I said about the rising in Gemini, that's the opposite when it comes to the rising in Sagittarius. So Sagittarians they come off very adventurous. If you're rising in Sag, you come off super adventurous, even if you're not. Like, you're someone that always is like down for whatever, you know, down for the ride. Very spontaneous. You're like Miley Cyrus or something. Very creative as well. And you also like to take action, like I said, like you're very spontaneous, like, yo, let's go do this. Like a Sagittarius rising would be like, I'm down, you know? And very funny, honest people. And you know what? You come off as a little bit open-minded, a little bit wise, beyond your years. Next up, if your rising's in Capricorn. I don't think I've met a rising in Capricorn, but if your rising's in Capricorn, you come off like a cheap ass. I'm so sorry, but it's like you would think you come off as bougie, but you don't. Like, you're the person going to look at the clearance section as soon as you walk into a store, and it's not a bad thing, because let me tell you guys something. If your rising's in Cancer, Capricorn, you're good with your money, but you come off like you're the person that finds a Louis Vuitton bag at a Goodwill, you know? And I don't mean like you're a cheap ass, like you're broke. I mean like you are bougie on a budget, and you come off that way, you know? Like, you're the person finding good things at like a yard sale, and it's like you have an eye for those things. And that's actually very good, because those are the people that end up the richest. So you may have a cheap personality, but you're probably doing really good financially. So that's a good thing. And you also come off very wise beyond your years. You also come off as responsible, the boring friend. You're probably everyone's DD, you know? So yeah. And then if your rising is in Aquarius, let's get real. You're crazy. You come off crazy. You come off like you want to stand out, and you're doing way too much to do it. You also come off as someone that's very futuristic. You don't know how to live in the moment. You don't know how to live in the past. You have no nostalgia, and you move on from things fast, because you're always thinking forward, and you're always like, what outfit am I going to wear tomorrow? What am I going to do 10 years from now? You're always living in the future, but you know what? That's where the good ideas come from, but you can't do it alone. And a lot of people with rising in Aquarius, they want to do everything alone, and you guys need to learn how to ask for help, because when you become a part of humanity, that's when you're gonna grow. When you know, get close to friends, relationships, that's when the opportunities come in, and you gotta be open to it. A lot of y'all be too closed off. You know, reach out to people, and you know, you're gonna get bigger the closer you get to humanity, the more you do for humanity. But yeah, you come off as, you know, a cuckoo head who's proud about it. And then rising in Pisces, y'all are copycatters. Like, let's get for real. You guys are copycatters. You guys hate yourselves, and you know what? It's not a bad thing, because in your life path, I think that if your rising's in Pisces, you got to learn not to mock people, and learn how to, you know, self-discover. You guys need to get to know yourselves and embrace yourselves. Listen to me. I've met one too many of y'all, and you guys, you know, you live in the clouds, as in you're always thinking about escaping yourself and becoming someone that you're not, when you should really like learn yourself, get to know yourself, and dig deep into who you are as a person, instead of trying to find the next person that you want to mimic, that you want to be like. You know, you are your own muse, and you got to learn that. You got to learn that you are the person you admire the most. What do you admire the most about you? And you got to be that. You got to stop trying to be like other people. Inspiration is good, don't get me wrong, but a lot of you don't do inspiration like, oh, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do it in my own way. You're like, I'm gonna do this exactly how they did it, because I don't know who the fuck I am. And that's just keeping it 100. So I love you all, and I wish you all the best. I hope that this video finds you well. If not, oh well. I hope you guys get better, and I will see you in the next video. Toodles. I will talk to you guys soon. By the way, my comment section, I don't know how to turn it back on. Someone help me. Comment below. Oh, you can't. Damn. So I'm gonna figure it out because I want to see your comments. I miss you guys. Bye.